Good morning, cruises. So, it's the end of the week, and this actually happened at the beginning of the week, but I'm still kind of getting over a cold, so I'm going to cut myself some slack. Anyway, it has been 1 year since I arrived in London. I have been living in London, England for one whole year. I'm thrilled and excited and just impressed with myself, to be really honest with you. Um, I have always been a person who needs to be surrounded by his friends, and um, I had to make new ones. So moving to London has been the biggest adventure of my life so far, and I thought I'd go over a little bit of what I did while I was here. So um, even though this is London, I did a lot of travel. So I went to other parts of England. I went to Wales. I went to France. I went to Belgium. And I went back to Virginia twice for work. So, Wales, I went to Cardiff, which is the capital of Wales, and Barry Island because I really wanted to go to a better beach. Because in England, I went to Brighton Beach, one of the like classic English seaside towns. In fact, it's probably the closest one to London, which is part of why it's so classic. It's why Brighton Beach in New York is named Brighton Beach. They were naming it after the Brighton Beach in London, sorry, in England. Um, but it is rocks. It is. They call it pebbles, but it is rocks, not a beach. Oh, okay, it's a beach, but I missed sand, so I went to Barry Island, where the sand was definitely more like sand. We'll see where I go this year. I have some ideas because you got to go to the beach. Um, I also went to Oxford and I went to Sheffield. So I did a couple of day trips and overnight trips throughout the rest of England. So I have not been to, technically, I don't think I've been to the north of England. I think people consider Sheffield the Midlands. So I still need to get up to the north of England, like Leeds or something like that, um, or further north. But yeah, so I've been all over England. My favorite trip this year was Paris. Paris was fantastic, and I didn't even get to see the Louvre because the line was so long. So I got to go back. But just hanging out in the cafes, having a little drink, having a little pastry. Yeah, Paris was great. All right, theater as like a whole like subject because I love shows. I saw five musicals: Come From Away, Nine to Five, Evita, Man of La Mancha, and Wicked. So I saw some old favorites. I saw some new classics. Um, I saw various different stagings. Like Evita was in a big outdoor thing. The rest of them were pretty straightforward for what they were. Um, Best one, hands down, was Come From Away. Come From Away is amazing. If you ever get the opportunity to see it and don't mind crying. So yeah, uh, one act, no intermission, fantastic. Um, Straight plays, I saw three plays by a guy named Bill Shakespeare, who I think has a lot of legs and is going places. Two at the Globe, and one by a group of dancers and celebrities. So, um, I think. I also saw uh, The Ocean at the End of the Lane, The Price, and The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime, which was a really cool staged thing with lights and people coming out from everywhere and moving floors and wildness. I think A Midsummer's Night's Dream at the Globe was the best of the street plays that I saw. It was at midnight in the middle of the summer. How do you beat that? At the Globe. So yeah, best straight play. Amazing. And then I just saw other things that you would consider theater. Staged readings of A Christmas Carol. Saw Neil Gaiman twice. Did I mention Ocean at the End of the Lane? That's written by Neil Gaiman. So like, I saw a play based on a book that Neil Gaiman wrote, and then I saw Neil Gaiman speak twice this year as well. I saw an immersive thing based on The Great Gatsby, and I saw two cabarets, one in London and one in Paris. Um, Yeah, I don't know which one of those I liked best. It was all pretty amazing to see other different theater, from stage readings to cabaret to immersive theater. I should go back and do more immersive. I really liked that, and it's around. Like, I've heard they're doing The Wolf of Wall Street as an immersive show, so I might need to go back and see that. Concerts, again, if you know me, this list is going to make a ton of sense. I saw everything from classical to Mumford and Sons. Right? I saw the London Philharmonic Orchestra. I saw Vampire Weekend. I saw performances of just playing Swan Lake, which is why I call it a concert, not a show. And I saw several Christmas concerts at the Royal Albert Hall. Oh yeah, Royal Albert Hall. I went to what are they called? The Proms. I went to several concerts that are part of the Proms, which is a 100-plus-year-old tradition here in London of decently priced classical music concerts of various types. So in this case, I saw one based on Warner Brother musicals and music from the summer of 1969, and music that was all Duke Ellington spiritual music, just an enormous amount of things. Wagner. But my favorite was I saw Carmina Burana, one of my favorite pieces of music, performed by an enormous choir and orchestra. Like, the choir took up all of the choir space in the Royal Albert Hall, plus seats on both sides, soloists. Absolutely extraordinary to see Carmina Burana done full out like that. It was very cool. The other thing that I like to do is museums. Oh my goodness, I saw so many museums. First of all, I went to Paris, and second of all, I went to Brussels, and third of all, I went to Oxford. So, like, I saw a blackboard that Albert Einstein wrote on, that after he finished the lecture, the students and professors who saw it realized that they had just had something explained to them by Einstein, ran out, grabbed a blanket, threw it over the blackboard, saved it for later. And so that's hanging on the wall, last touched by, the people who hung it up, and Einstein. That was pretty great. Obviously, been to the British Museum, the Musée d'Orsay in Paris, the Magritte Museum in Brussels was fantastic. I saw the Old Masters Museum in Brussels. I saw the Battle of Britain bunker and the Bletchley Park Code Breakers Museum. So many different amazing museums here in London, in the close by area, and then further abroad. I think the best experience that I saw, though, was the Tower of London Ceremony of the Keys. So I got to get in after hours, where they lock the Tower of London behind you, and you take part in a ceremony that, in its current incarnation, has been in place since at least the 19th century. But they have data that says that it goes back to the 16th century for sure, and there's other data that says that a similar type ceremony may go back as old as the 14th century. It has never been canceled. It has been delayed once during bombings in World War II. One night it was delayed. Otherwise, it takes place at exactly the same time, at like 9:50 something exactly. They leave, they walk, they present, they announce, they do the thing, whose keys, stop, who goes there, and then at exactly 10 o'clock, God save the Queen, and they put the keys away for the next day. It was pretty amazing to be there for all of that. So, in addition, like I said, I met some new friends. I hang out with some people from work. I'm in a board game group. I cook, and yeah, I'm getting by. I'm learning how to live completely alone in London, and it's pretty great. So this year's already begun. Gone to see a new museum. Been cooking. There's coronavirus fear, so did a big shop, got a lot of canned goods just in case. But yeah, I'm excited about what comes next. I'm thrilled that this last year happened. It was great. So yeah, that's really it. I hope you've had a good time watching this year's videos, and I will try to do more and better next year. Bye.